The silver centerpiece, which now stands in the officers' mess, fell into the hands of the Japanese. After the war, it was recovered and reassembled.
He's in round the back. Exercise fast ball. I got the signal at 1800 hours, and the following details are relevant. Our mission is to evacuate British nationals from a Central African country, and we're going to stage at Ascension Island. Now, at this time, I have no further details until I get a briefing a little later on. The operation is secret and is unlikely to be downgraded before we leave. We will take support weapons, and we must be prepared to go for up to 6 months. Let me emphasize that this is an exercise. Don't let's otherwise panicking that we really are off to
Mrs. Logie?
Yeah?
Talk up all your own team, please.
The midnight knock on the door, part of a soldier's life. The army owns him 24 hours a day.
Exercise fast ball has already begun. Yep. You'll be at pick-up point at 5:15 tomorrow morning, which is on the plane.
In goes one more jab, this time against Hong Kong flu. Typhus, cholera, yellow fever, and smallpox have been pumped in already. The MO makes sure that nothing gets you before the enemy has a chance.
Does it matter?
Hold on. Where do you get that? Singapore? Not bad little outfit. You haven't sent me to Miss Deal.
No more long sea voyages. All troop movements today are done by air.
700 Glengarry men, for the cry come ringing down the glen. Oh, city, mind the plan, tuck your rifle in your hand, the Argylls are moving again.
Right, so if there are no further questions, we have a great deal to do tonight. The sooner we get on with it, the better.
Some of these officers fought in Korea. Most of them were in Borneo and Aden. The plaque on the stairs once belonged outside the Chartered Bank in Crater, before Colonel Colin Mitchell turned it into his battalion headquarters. The previous night, after many bitter and frustrating months, British troops in Aden had at last gone over to the attack. It was like the relief of Lucknow all over again, except that history never sets the same exam questions twice. The Arabs of Crater woke up to find jocks at every street corner, dominating the town.
We're going to be extremely firm and extremely mean. These chaps have gunned down British soldiers. 3 of my own were killed here. And I have no compunction in saying that if some chap now starts throwing grenades or using pistols, we shall kill him. Quite rightly.
Mad Mitch considered the reoccupation of Crater to be the proudest moment of his soldiering career. Only one Arab had been killed.
I think that it did a tremendous amount of good for the morale, not only of the army, but of the British nation, that we reoccupied it in the way that we did. And with the flamboyance, perhaps that's the word, I don't know, panache, there's many adjectives, probably people can think of much brutal ones.
The event which most deeply influenced Mitchell's approach to the job happened just before he took command. A mutiny among the Arab police led to the ambush of a mixed patrol of Argylls and Northumberland Fusiliers. In all, 22 British soldiers were killed, and there is evidence that some of them may have been captured alive, and later brutally executed.
But I personally regarded the circumstances of the 20th June as utterly disgraceful. I felt myself that we had actually abandoned the place under the most terrible and tragic circumstances to a lot of sort of third-rate, fly-blown chaps. It seemed to me incredibly bad.
Mitchell employed techniques which he described as counter-terrorism of a mild but effective sort. His commanding officer, General Philip Tower, required the political temperature kept down and ordered the Argylls to throttle back.
And I think you've got chaps who are embarrassed by having troops that are too good for them to handle, and you could get other chaps to run the show. It seems to me But if you have men who are trained in certain ways and you don't employ them in those ways, I think that's the whole point of having them in the first place. If you find you've got a situation where you want to employ soldiers because you can't control it with policemen, then you must employ them as soldiers. You can't bring them in and expect them to perform like constables on the beat in the middle of London. Having admitted that it's a military problem, they must hand it over to the military to carry it out in their way.
Within the policy of minimum force, Mitchell, in his own words, resolved to throttle back as little as possible. But when one of his patrols bayoneted a terrorist suspect in the night, orders came down that the Argylls must no longer carry bayonets in the streets. He replied that his men were fighting leopards, not tethered goats.
I mean, there's more poppycock and wet tripe talked about the methods that we use in aid than anything I've ever heard. A great many Arabs are alive today because we use these methods, and a great many Argylls are alive today because we use them. And this, to me, is a complete exoneration of anything. If we needed exonerating, which we don't, never have.